Some places on Earth don't just look dangerous, they feel like warnings. They burn, freeze, poison, crush, or swallow anyone careless enough to underestimate them. From islands where a single bite can end your life, to deserts so hot they seem designed to erase human footprints, these are not travel destinations. They are survival tests written by nature itself. Today, we're counting down the top 7 most dangerous places on Earth you should never visit. And stay until number 1, because the most dangerous place on this list is so extreme, even standing there for a short time could be a fatal mistake. Before we begin, comment which place you think deserves the number 1 spot. Number 7, Skeleton Coast, Namibia. It has one of the most terrifying names on any map, and once you understand what happens here, the name feels almost too gentle. Picture a coastline where the Atlantic Ocean crashes into endless desert. Thick fog rolls over rusted shipwrecks, whale bones, and sand dunes that stretch farther than the eye can see. The place looks abandoned, like the edge of the world after humanity disappeared. The Skeleton Coast is dangerous because it traps people between 2 brutal forces, the ocean and the desert. Sailors once thought reaching land meant survival, but here, reaching land often meant a slower death. The cold Atlantic currents created thick fog, ships crashed into hidden sandbars, and survivors who made it to shore found almost no fresh water, no easy escape, and miles of empty desert. This coastline is littered with shipwrecks because the sea is violent, the fog is unpredictable, and the shoreline is hard to read. Even today, parts of the area remain remote and difficult to access. It is beautiful, but it is not forgiving. For centuries, sailors feared this coast. Some shipwreck survivors escaped the ocean only to face dehydration, hunger, and isolation on land. That is what makes Skeleton Coast so haunting. It doesn't kill in one dramatic moment. It lets hope appear first, then slowly takes it away. But as deadly as this coast is, the next place doesn't need fog or shipwrecks to threaten you. The ground itself is the danger. Subscribe to see the rest of the countdown. From the bones of the Atlantic, we move to one of the hottest places ever recorded on Earth. Number 6, Death Valley, United States. Death Valley doesn't hide its danger. It puts it right in the name. Imagine a vast desert basin under a white-hot sky. The mountains shimmer in the distance. Salt flats crack beneath your feet. The air feels heavy, dry, and sharp, like opening an oven door and stepping inside. Death Valley is one of the most extreme desert environments on the planet. Summer temperatures can rise so high that the human body struggles to cool itself. Sweat evaporates almost instantly, which tricks people into thinking they are not losing water. By the time thirst becomes serious, dehydration may already be dangerous. The hottest air temperature ever reliably recorded on Earth was measured in Death Valley, 134 degrees Fahrenheit or 56.7 degrees Celsius in 1913. Even modern visitors can get into trouble within hours if they underestimate the heat, drive unprepared, or leave marked roads. Every year, people still visit Death Valley because it is stunning, but some arrive with too little water, weak vehicles, or the idea that a short walk cannot become deadly. That is the trap. In a place like this, a flat tire, a wrong turn, or a dead phone battery can quickly become a survival emergency. And yet, Death Valley's danger comes from heat you can feel. The next place is dangerous because of something you might not see until it is too late. Now we leave the desert and travel to an island where stepping into the wrong patch of grass could put you face to face with one of the deadliest creatures on Earth. Subscribe for part 3. Number 5, Snake Island, Brazil. There is an island off the coast of Brazil where visitors are not casually welcomed, and the reason is simple. The island belongs to snakes. From above, Snake Island looks tropical and peaceful. Green forest covers steep, rocky slopes. Waves crash against the cliffs. It almost looks like a hidden paradise. But under the leaves, between the branches, and across the forest floor, danger is waiting. Snake Island, officially called Ilha da Queimada Grande, is famous for its population of golden lancehead vipers. These snakes are highly venomous and found naturally only on this island. Because the island is isolated, the snakes evolved in a unique environment, feeding largely on birds that pass through the area. The golden lancehead's venom is extremely potent. Stories about the island are often exaggerated online, but the real truth is still terrifying enough. This is not a place where a normal tourist can safely wander around with a camera and curiosity. Brazilian authorities restrict access to the island, and researchers who go there must take serious precautions. That alone tells you everything. When even scientists treat a location like a controlled hazard zone, ordinary visitors should stay far away. But at least on Snake Island, the danger has a shape. You can imagine fangs. The next place is more frightening because the threat rises from beneath the earth itself. From venom in the forest, we move to a volcanic wasteland that looks like another planet. Subscribe for part 4. Number 4, Danakil Depression, Ethiopia. If Earth has a place that looks like a warning from another world, it might be the Danakil Depression. The landscape glows in impossible colors. Salt flats stretch into the horizon, broken by cracked volcanic ground. Yellow sulfur fields bubble under the sun, broken by steaming vents. Acid pools shimmer like toxic mirrors. It is beautiful in the same way a fire is beautiful from far away. The Danakil Depression is dangerous because it combines several extreme threats in one place. It is intensely hot, geologically active, and filled with toxic gases and acidic pools. The ground can be unstable. The air can be harsh. Water is scarce. This is not a landscape built for comfort. Parts of the Danakil Depression sit below sea level, while nearby volcanic activity constantly reshapes the region. In some areas, the water is so acidic and salty that it creates colors that seem almost artificial. It looks magical, but that magic can burn. For the Afar people, this region is not just a deadly landscape. It is home, history, and survival. Salt miners have crossed brutal terrain here for generations, cutting blocks from the flats and moving them by camel. Their endurance shows how humans can adapt to extreme environments, but it also proves how unforgiving this place really is. If you had to survive in just one of these places for 24 hours, which one would you choose? Drop your answer below before we reach number 1. And if you think volcanic heat is terrifying, the next location brings a different kind of danger: silence, radiation, and a city frozen in disaster. Subscribe for part 5. Number 3. Chernobyl Exclusion Zone, Ukraine. Some dangerous places attack the body immediately. Chernobyl is different. Its danger is invisible. Empty apartment blocks stand with broken windows. Classrooms still hold old books and dusty desks. A Ferris wheel rises above the abandoned city of Pripyat, never carrying the crowds it was built for. Nature has returned, but the silence feels unnatural. The Chernobyl Exclusion Zone was created after the 1986 nuclear disaster at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. A reactor explosion released radioactive material into the environment, forcing mass evacuations. The danger here is not a monster, a cliff, or a storm. It is contamination that can remain in soil, buildings, and certain hotspots for a very long time. What makes Chernobyl so strange is that wildlife has returned in large numbers. Wolves, horses, birds, and other animals now move through areas humans abandoned. It creates an eerie contradiction, a place too dangerous for normal human life, yet alive with nature. The human story is what makes Chernobyl unforgettable. Families left their homes believing they might return in a few days. Many never did. Firefighters, plant workers, engineers, and cleanup crews faced unimaginable risks to contain the disaster. Some paid with their lives. Chernobyl shows what happens when human systems fail. But the next place does not need a reactor to be deadly. It only needs altitude. From an abandoned city poisoned by radiation, we climb into the mountains where the air itself begins to disappear. Subscribe for part 6. Number 2. Mount Everest Death Zone, Nepal and Tibet. Mount Everest is the highest dream on Earth. But near the top, that dream becomes a place where the human body starts dying. The summit ridge is a blade of ice above the clouds. Climbers move slowly, wrapped in bright suits against a world of white wind and black rock. Every step is heavy. Every breath feels too small. Below them, the planet stretches out in silence. The most dangerous part of Everest is known as the Death Zone, usually above 8,000 meters. At that altitude, there is not enough oxygen for the human body to function normally for long. Judgment weakens. Muscles fail. Frostbite can set in. A small mistake becomes enormous because rescue is incredibly difficult. One of the most haunting facts about Everest is that many bodies remain on the mountain. The conditions are so extreme that recovering them can be too dangerous. Some have even become landmarks for climbers, a grim reminder that the mountain does not care how experienced or determined someone is. Everest has drawn explorers, guides, dreamers, and record breakers for decades. For some, reaching the summit becomes the greatest moment of their lives. For others, the descent becomes the part they never survive. That is the cruel truth of Everest. Getting to the top is only halfway. But even Everest gives climbers a goal, a route, and a chance to turn back. Number 1 is different. It is a place where the danger can strike from the sky, the ground, and the air around you. For the most dangerous place on this list, we go to a location so extreme, it has been called one of the closest things to hell on Earth. Subscribe for the final reveal. Number 1 is Lake Natron in Tanzania, a place so strange and dangerous that it looks less like a lake and more like a trap designed by another planet. From above, Lake Natron can glow red, orange, and pink, like a wound cut into the earth. The surface looks calm, almost glassy, stretching beneath the African sun. Around it, the land is dry and harsh. In some seasons, the lake seems beautiful enough to approach. But that beauty is exactly what makes it so unsettling, because this is not ordinary water. Lake Natron is extremely alkaline, meaning its water has a very high pH. It is fed by mineral-rich springs and affected by volcanic material from the surrounding region. As water evaporates under the intense heat, salts and chemicals become concentrated, creating an environment that can burn skin and eyes. For many animals, contact with the lake can be deadly. It is not a place where humans should casually swim. And yet, the most fascinating part is that Lake Natron is not lifeless. It is actually one of the most important breeding grounds for lesser flamingos. These birds are specially adapted to survive in conditions that would be dangerous for many other creatures. They feed on algae and nest in areas where predators struggle to reach them. That is what makes Lake Natron so incredible. To most life, it is hostile. To flamingos, it is protection. The lake became famous online because of images showing animals that appeared turned to stone. The truth is more complex, but still chilling. The lake's mineral-rich, alkaline water can preserve dead animals in a way that makes them look calcified or statue-like. Birds and bats that die near the lake may appear frozen in eerie poses, as if the lake captured them. That image is hard to forget. A lake so beautiful from far away, yet so chemically extreme that death around it can look like sculpture. Lake Natron matters because it reminds us that danger on Earth does not always look violent. It does not always roar like a volcano or scream like a storm. Sometimes it is silent, sometimes it is colorful, sometimes it is beautiful. It also shows how nature can create places that are deadly and essential at the same time. Without Lake Natron, huge populations of lesser flamingos would lose one of their most important breeding habitats. So this place is not evil. It is not cursed. It is simply extreme. And that is far more powerful. Lake Natron deserves the number 1 spot because it represents the deepest mystery of dangerous places. The same environment that can destroy one life can protect another. For humans, it is a warning. For flamingos, it is a sanctuary. So if you ever see it from a distance, admire it, film it, respect it, but do not forget what you are looking at. Some doors on Earth are meant to stay closed. Earth is far more dangerous, beautiful, and mysterious than most of us imagine. Some places burn with heat, some hide venom, some carry the scars of human disaster, and some look peaceful until you realize they were never meant for us. Which place shocked you the most? Would you choose Everest, Snake Island, Death Valley, or Lake Natron as the most terrifying one? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoy incredible rankings about the strangest and most extreme places on Earth, subscribe for more documentary-style videos like this. Subscribe to see what's next.